teacher, technology changing social connections.
More and more people are turning to chatbots for life advice, for companionship, and even for love. Harvard Business Review, by the way, says that is the number one use now of chatbots: companionship, advice, and comfort, affection. What if the time we spend commuting with digital companions displaces the time we spend with one another?
That's interesting. Well, you know what, guys? I'm going to check out my chatbot. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like we talked about last episode too, right? With the companion bots, you're seeing a lot of people now using them more so as we'll say, partner or asking life questions, advice, and they feel more comfortable talking to that than an actual person. Hey, if you're still watching, make sure to give us a like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, and I think like how they say your pets are your reflection as well. They'll act the way you act. So my chatbots act like I do, I guess, because I build them where, hey, give me no nonsense.
Yeah. Shoot me the answer straight.
Don't polish it. Give me just straight up. Give me the answer. I don't need you to boost me up or anything. Just give me the answer, and that's how my chatbots are trained. And so I don't know.
Well, what she's saying
I'm not looking confident on the screen.
Well, I think what she's saying is, kids in colleges and younger,
It's dangerous.
They're not socializing. They're going towards these chatbots, and I probably should have brought this clip in, but I have to look for it. You guys know a gentleman named John Taffer?
Yes.
Yeah.
He does the bar rescue.
Great show.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so he's been doing more and more podcasts, and he was saying that, this younger generation, I think they call them Gen X, right?
I don't know, something.
Let's call it Gen X for argument's sake. Is that he was saying that they don't go out and drink anymore. They don't go to bars. They don't do any of that.
To that point, I was reading that the alcohol sales has dropped.
Yeah, they dropped.
Like 30%. Like it was an unreal number. And they said there's a lot of these whiskey or, those people, they're actually, the more popular right now is non-alcoholic drinks.
Yeah. That's what he brought up.
So
coffee shops.
And even like, mojitos and things like that. But those are non-alcoholic ones. Those are more popular because this next generation, they don't see themselves as any I don't know, benefits out of it. They're not seeing the output out of, being in that social
that social environment.
Yeah.
I mean, he was saying that
the whole song about drinking in the corner in the dark, they don't see themselves.
Well, he was saying that, like, for example, COVID, when that hit, a lot of people, especially that generation, we're all home. We can't do anything. So a lot of Zoom calls or whatnot, probably having Zoom drinks or manufacturing happy hour type stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's all you could do at that time. And then they kind of got used to it. And that became the norm. And then obviously maybe their friends went back to normal life. So I could see why they went to this.
Yeah, my team just got developing, we partially helped the team to develop this app. And that's the app's it's called Breaking Bread. It's a young lady out of Grand Rapids. She developed it. And her whole idea is that people to come together, community networking, break bread together. And literally you set up a social event where you do the dinner together.
Yeah.
So I think those gonna be more popular.
Well, to be honest with you, like Meetup already kind of has that setup already. So is it just like that?
Well, this is more I would say this is more her version of it.
Okay.
And where people are getting together, where they're doing more than just network. They're they build relations. They build because that's what happened during COVID. Before COVID, I don't know how many times did you use Zoom before COVID?
It was very rare.
Rarely, yeah.
Really? Very rare.
WebEx, do some WebEx. And
Yeah,
stuff like
and-
Yeah,
that.
it was all WebEx, maybe
and-
Skype.
I forgot the Skype was the
Skype,
other one. Yeah, yeah.
right? But that was it,
Rare.
right? And that was like the most thing where like you could not make it, and that was the last
Yeah.
resort.
Yep.
Now the first resort is people don't even want to meet you in person.
They won't
wa-
turn their camera on.
Well, first they want to do it. Even the business meetings, they want to have
Do a
a
Zoom first.
They want to have a Zoom or whatever the online meeting first, and then they want to meet you in person.
Yeah.
So, COVID has changed a lot of things, a lot of our behaviors.
Communication patterns.
Communication is
Is
one
that
of
a
the
good
biggest
thing?
thing.
Like, because back in the day, obviously, if you first meet somebody, you go meet them in person. Maybe chat with them on the phone, but definitely go meet them in person.
Yeah.
Now it's Zoom, meet in person.
Yep.
So, do you think that's a good thing, bad
No.
thing? Like,
I think the human the reason we're doing this podcast in studio.
Yeah.
And the reason
The
we
connections, the interactions, the
interaction is
language, body language.
body
right?
language is like we understand where the person's emotions are for that certain topic or certain
so what would be the argument then to stick with or go to the Zoom style versus what would be the argument for that?
to go on the Zoom.
Well, I guess what I'm alluding to is kind of a devil advocate thing. I think it's better for a person to meet, especially when they do business
In person.
In person. But what's the kind of argument to go with Zoom first? What would be the
Ease. 100%. It's
Yeah,
easy.
so
you have 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, ease.
Yeah.
I don't have to travel. You don't have to travel. We
Yeah.
just get on a real quick call. It's flexible. It's easy.
I think I think Zoom has it took away the phone call first.
Yeah, that's a
And
good point.
I think it's a partially both. It's took away the phone call, the one we had used to call, and but I don't get it because when some people I'm the guy who always turn on the camera,
Yeah.
always, but I see people they get on Zoom and they don't turn on their camera, so I'm like, what is the purpose of that call if you're not doing it on phone? You want to do it on Zoom, but you won't turn on your camera. So I think that social structure has kind of shifted.
I think some
But-
people are shy or traditionally shy.
Yeah,
I
I
mean-
get it. I mean, I was one of the biggest introvert, but
Yeah.
it's something you have to overcome.
You have
and-
to, yeah. And I guess if you're not forced to, why would you?
Yeah, but then you could have had that conversation on the phone.
Very true. The only reason I guess a counter argument to that. The nice thing about a Zoom is that I can share my screen. I can show you when I'm alluding to or trying
True.
to. So those are to me the benefits with that versus a phone call. You kind of try and describe it in an imaginary sense.